You guys came a long way from the beginning of the season and really mattered fast. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, we've come a long way. I mean, and to see Kyler's maturation and the way he was able to perform this year, I think it's a runaway for Rookie of the Year for him. I mean, the guy is he's Houdini back there, and we got a really bright future here for this organization for a very long time. We're privileged to have him and try to build around him for years to come.
Larry, there's been a couple people that suggest that you've been having a lot of fun around here, maybe more so in the last few years. Is that true? Have you had more fun this year?
Yeah, I mean, the atmosphere, the positivity, I think it's a lot of different reasons, but it's been a great year. I mean, for a 5-win season, I can't remember having as much joy in the process, only winning 5 games, but being around these coaches, the teammates, the way they work every day, how serious they take football. It had been very easy for a lot of guys, young guys who have never experienced the NFL. When we were eliminated from the playoffs, early December to pack it in, but that never was the case. Guys pushed through. Perfect example today was Kyler, man. I mean, he could have very easily set today out. What am I playing for? We're out of the playoffs. What am I going to go out there and risk it for? And he came out and threw for 300 yards, stayed in there against premier pass rusher of the National Football League and Aaron Donald. I mean, that just shows a lot of character, and I think guys see that and want to play with him.
Looking back, are you surprised the vibe was that different this season?
What did you say?
Looking back on it, are you surprised at all the vibe was that different this season?
Surprise? No, I think I kind of anticipated that because college coaches that come from college, I mean, they're used to being around younger players, and you got to have that energy and enthusiasm when you're around 18, 19, 20-year-olds. And from the first time I met Coach, I knew his mentality was completely different. And the thing that you really see about him early on is like he's not one of those. He's not a know-it-all, right? He's some guys, you ask him a question and they give you an answer just to give you an answer. He doesn't do that. I mean, Fitz, let me get back to you, and then he'll come back to me. Okay, I want you to do it like this, but he doesn't blow smoke, and you really respect that about him from day one. He told me he's like, you got to earn your opportunities, and the transparency and honesty. That's all you can ask for.
How much will that play into your decision to come back next year? Just what Cliff can bring and has brought. Whenever you sit down and think about it.
Well, I got to talk to Michael and make sure that they want me back. Even if that's an option, and you kind of got to go through the checklist and the process. But like I said, I love this organization with all my heart. I've gave everything I've had for 16 years, and I just got to take a little time to figure it out, and obviously talk to the boss man. He makes all the decisions.
It takes some time. Was there any thought that this could be your final game today?
No, you can't have those type of thoughts in your mind. Not for me. For me to be able to focus and be able to play the way I'm capable of playing, I can't think about that. I got to stay completely in the moment, and that's where I'm best served and at my best.
When you mentioned how important it was for Kyler to play today, does it mean any more that he's doing that as a rookie?
I'm sorry.
For Kyler playing today, is it more significant that he's showing that leadership as a rookie and making sure he's still playing this final game?
Well, yeah, I mean that's all 1-2 in character right there. I mean, like I said earlier, he could have shut it down. I mean, this game is is meaningless. If you really want to be honest with it. I mean, no team was going to the playoffs, and he could have shut it down. But it was important for him to come out there and compete, and that's just like building a foundation for the future. I mean, he can push through things, he can play through things, because to play quarterback in the National Football League, you gotta be tough. I mean, there's going to be things you're going to have to battle through, and he showed that he can do that.
They're playing 16 years. It's a long time. Where do you feel like your game is at after 16 years?
I'm tired, physically, mentally. You're tired. I mean, it takes a lot of focus and preparation physically and spiritually to be able to get up and do it every single day, practice, and try to lead by example every day at work, even though when you're not feeling good. It's not easy by any stretch of the imagination, but like I said, I've enjoyed the process. I've enjoyed my teammates, and this is one of the more fun years I've had.
How do you do that consistently?
How do I do it?
Yeah,
well, it matters. It matters to me, but it doesn't just matter to me. It matters to all these guys. For you to do anything for a long time, for be a writer or journalist or whatever you decide to do, you have to be passionate about it. You have to be willing to put the work in and do what's required to be great at it.
Is that physical and mental exhaustion why you need to take time to make a decision? You need to recharge, kind of, recalibrate everything after the season?
Yeah, I mean, it's important for you to take a little step back away from it before you make decisions, and good or bad. It's like when you get into an argument with your significant other. There's things that you might want to say, but you know that if you say that, it probably won't be good. So you just, you take a step back and then you think about it and then you address it. And usually it's much better, if you do that. And I try not to make, decisions, hastily.
With Eric Weddle coming off the field, what was that conversation like? And what's it been like playing against him specifically all these years?
I love Eric, man. I didn't really get a chance to play with him a whole lot because outside of this year, he's been an AFC guy, but I just have the utmost respect for him, the way he prepares. I mean, you can tell by the way he plays and the things that he does. He puts an unbelievable amount of study and preparation into it, and you don't play 14 years in the National Football League in the secondary if you're not a hell of a player. Gotten to know each other pretty good over the years playing in Tahoe and getting to spend some time with him and his family. He's a high-character guy.
How tough is it to fight that urge to make that decision emotionally right after the season?
What do you say?
How hard is it to fight that urge just to make that decision right away? Hold off on all, or be prepared for holding off on it?
Josh, I'm pretty experienced at it now. I've been doing it for the last four years probably. I remember standing on this podium last time I was here at the Coliseum, and people were asking me that question. I think, what was that, 16 or 15? Yeah, I mean, so yeah, I'm pretty used to it. Yeah. Yep.
Wasn't really expecting that at all, and then I kind of lost feeling in my thumb or my pinky, and that finger. So, I couldn't really throw the ball after that, except for I had to let it die down. But once it did, I was fine. Yeah. I always say if I didn't turn the ball over, I feel like we would have won the game just because we were moving the ball, and those were kind of crucial turnovers. But I just got to learn from it, move on, and we'll get better from it.
How did you allow Cliff and the training staff to play in this game, even though you might not have 100%?
It was really a game time decision. I went out there, tried, accelerating a couple times. Didn't really feel it, but got sore a little bit before the game. But other than that, man, I wanted to finish out the year for the guys, and finish what I started as far as playing all 16 games. I think it went a long way. So.
When you got sore, did you have to convince them that you're going to be okay and be able to play?
No, they had to convince me just because I'm more concerned, not one to injure it more, but at the same time, I understood, it is what it is. I'm a competitor. If I hurt it, I'm gonna hurt it. So when I was out there, I wasn't really thinking about it. I couldn't really get out of the pocket and move like that, but for me, honestly, I think it helped me out. Just standing in there, going through reads, going through progressions, and like I said, I think it's a teaching lesson, learning lesson for me, and I'm kind of glad. Everything happens for a reason, and I thought we played well today, despite 2 turnovers that kind of cost us.
How would you evaluate the season?
We obviously, this is not, I'm not used to this. Ending the season not playing for anything after it, but I think the growth we've shown from start to finish is what I'm most proud of. I know the guys are proud of it, and I know it's year 1 for us. A lot of guys have bought into the system, so for us to come out here, play hard, not give up every game, each and every game, to be honest. So going into next season, I think we can be pretty dangerous.
There were times you were hesitant when usually you might scramble a little bit more just to.
No, honestly, the guys kept me upright today. So, I felt good back there.
Starting from throw a Hail Mary at the end, or was that?
No, I couldn't move. I couldn't really. It was tough just because I know I was gonna have to roll out and get into it, and I was just kind of limited.
The losing this year, coming from college where you're hardly ever lost, has that been difficult for you?
Yeah, definitely. I've won my whole life, but understanding what we were getting into at the beginning of the year, understanding that I'm young, it's a new coach, new system. You're going to have ups and downs, and we understood that. But I think that we've came a long way from the beginning of the season. And I think that's what matters, and carrying that on to next season, I think we'll just continue to get better and better.
You were playing through that injury. How much did he share that with you? Just that he was really proud.
Oh yeah, he told me plenty of times. I've never really been hurt or had to actually play through an injury, so this is the first for me. I'm glad I did it.
Close to the start of the game, were you sure that Kyler was going to play?
We weren't sure. He worked out prior to the game and felt it a little bit, but wanted to play. And I thought it was, his best game by far, considering he was playing at whatever percent he was playing. And to be able to kind of go on the road and still do his thing and keep your team in it and make a bunch of plays, that's the most proud I've been of all season.
When was his wrist or his arm?
He hit the funny bone. Yeah, he got hit late, and it hit his funny bone, so he couldn't feel his hand, but then he came back in.
Do you think any of the turnovers were due to the injury?
He would never make an excuse, but some of those throws that he doesn't miss like that, sailed on him a little bit. And when you're not 100% with your lower half, that's going to happen. But I thought for the most part, like I said, he battled his tail off and gave us a chance to win.
I know it might be difficult now, but now that the season's over, how would you evaluate this 2018 season for Arizona?
Work in progress, yeah.
Is there any, obviously, there was all talk about Chandler, maybe at 20 or getting 22. Any disappointment? They didn't
No, not at all. I knew they'd have a plan. Sean and his offense staff do a great job. They weren't going to let him wreck the game, but he still had his tackles for losses, deflected 3 or 4 balls. I mean, he made his impact like he has the entire year. But they had a great scheme to try and, not allow him to get home.
What was the experience like for you being the first-time head coach and also with a young quarterback? How was it?
Yeah, I mean, a learning experience the entire year. I learned something new every day about the league and about him and about our players. And so, like I said, it's a work in progress. But the team played their ass off the entire year. Effort was great. Quarterback grew up, and so there's definitely some progress made.
What did you say to Kyler at the end of the game? You shared a moment after the final whistle. What would you say?
Yeah, I'll just keep that between us. But like I said, I was most proud of this game, more so than any other, because he wasn't 100%, and he stayed in there, and he battled his tail off on the road against a very good team. And, teammates see that, the organization sees that, and it goes a long way into the offseason.
What was the rest of the long-term injury?
What's that?
What was the rest of the good injury?
Yeah, not bad. I mean, it was a deal where if he strained it more, he wouldn't have gone. He felt it, but really, you saw he didn't try to take off. We didn't run him at all. He did a nice job of not kicking it into 5th gear. Yeah, I didn't know who he was when he got there, obviously, so he's given us a lot more. But once you see him run routes and start moving around, he's got a unique skill set as a wide receiver. And for a guy who's still learning our system, he made some big plays for us down the stretch.
You like playing these types of games when the season is over and there's not a lot at stake?
Yeah, it wasn't at all. I mean, this group, we've been out of it for a while and played some of our best football during that stretch. It's a professional group, great leadership. You got a young quarterback, and they know it's a process, and all these reps have been invaluable for him.
Today, he seemed like he was standing kind of down the sideline. It didn't seem like he was part of the game.
No, we wanted, KD's playing really well, so we wanted to go with him, give him the whole game, and that's what we did.
Do you foresee David Johnson being a part of this team moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, that's a postseason discussion that we'll get to once we have a chance to sit back and talk with personnel and Steve and all those guys.
How you wanted Kyler to get these reps and how you can build off that. Does that get hampered at all then with those turnovers and that kind of hurt his confidence there?
No, not at all. Because he was going to the right place, he just sailed the ball, And like I said, your body gets out of whack, things like that happen. But it's the best game he played all season under the circumstance, and particularly how, they dominated us the last time. It was non-competitive, and he came out here and gave us a chance to win today.
Fumble was the frustrating thing, and that was more self-inflicted there.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the one, KD, he's a great player and just took his eyes off the ball. And the other one, we're trying to check a play, we're plus 50. I think we turned it over 3 times, plus 50. That's unfortunate. And you can't expect to beat Los Angeles Rams doing stuff like that.
What do the next few weeks look like for you? Take some downtime and start going back to the film and those passes?
Yeah, it'll be a little bit of downtime and then, getting ready for free agency and the draft.
Do you think you're a better football team now than say 3 weeks ago?
just understanding the system, understanding what we're about. We learned how to practice, how best to fit our team. I think between VJ and myself, Coach Rogers, it's been a work in progress, like I said. And we got to this last month and really started feeling good about the process in place.
Plays to Demir, I think there was one in between with the OPI and the 33-yard catch. Was that the same play call?
It was. Kyler checked one of them, and one of them we said, hey, you ran by him, let's do it again. Had some tough calls out there. I don't know what the penalty yards were, but it seemed to be pretty lopsided today. And I thought our guys did a good job of kind of overcoming that.
Something that made you want to whip that play out again so quickly?
We felt like we had a good matchup there. Yeah, Demir was playing fast and felt like he could get a step on that guy.
Ross, do you feel like this team is just a few pieces away from being what you wanted to be?
I thought we had a solid roster this year. I mean, we're in a bunch of games, a bunch of one-score games. Had our opportunities. Had we, not turned the ball over. I think we're 30th in red zone touchdown efficiency. I mean, those are huge things. Get off the field on defense a few more times on third down. So you're always looking to improve. But I liked our roster this year. The guys played their tails off.
Going into 2020.
We just have to build off of it. I mean, I think some of our best efforts were late in the season, and everybody feels more comfortable in the systems and keeping that consistent. I think going into a year or two has a chance to set you on the right path, but we have a lot of work to do.
I wouldn't use the word disappointment. I mean, the things didn't go in our way, but disappointment is not the word I want to use for sure.
What made it tough to get to golf today?
I mean, watch the film. The guards were sliding, they were chipping. I think they were doing everything they can for me not to get to the quarterback, and they did a really good job at it. They really did.
You guys did do a better job overall defensively against them this time than the last time. Did you feel like you guys took these strides? I mean, it's only been a month, and you guys have made so many strides in this last month as a unit.
We'll be all right. This team's a young team, but like I said, we're going to move some puzzle pieces around, and I feel like the sky's the limit for the Arizona Cardinals. Coming into next year, we've showed some flashes, and we did some things that it gives us a lot of hope. I don't want to use the word hope. It gave us some promising things that's getting ready to come up. So I'm excited for this team. Things didn't go as planned today, but we're definitely going to bounce back and be a stronger team for next year for sure.
This game against the Rams, the two against the Niners that were close, the win against Seattle. I think the division maybe senses, okay, Cardinals are competitive now?
Of course. I was asked about it last week, why did we play so well in Seattle? But it's not a rival. It's not that it's a rival, but it's a division game. And the importance of a division game, especially when you talk about the playoff conversation, is huge. So we'll be all right.